What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Swift video. In today's video, we're going to be learning about creating bar charts in your application with UIKit and Swift. So we'll basically put together what you are seeing here. We'll talk about how to customize the legend, the axes, the right, left, bottom, as well as top, the color scheme, as well as supply the data here to our actual chart. So if that all sounds good, make sure you start by smashing that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, if you're into Swift and iOS. That all said, let's get into bar charts in your iOS app. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started by opening up Xcode and creating a new project. We're going to stick with the app template under iOS. Let's also go ahead and give our project a name of bar chart example, just like that. Make sure your language is set to Swift, and we're going to change Swift UI here from the interface back to storyboard since we'll be working with UI kits programmatically. So go ahead and continue, save the project wherever you would like. We'll toss it onto our desktop. And first things first, we want to bring in the dependency to allow us to create bar charts, and we're going to use Cocoapods to do that. So you can go ahead and close up Xcode, and we want to go ahead and open up our terminal, cd into our project folder where we can run the pod init command. This is going to initialize Cocoapods. If you don't have Cocoapods installed already, you can do a quick Google search how to install it. It is fairly simple. So once it returns, we can go ahead and open up our pod file with a capital P. It should have created it for you. And in our pod file, regardless of what editor it opens it up in, we want to bring in the pod for charts. So go ahead and put that in there, close up text edit or whatever editor it has opened, and you can go ahead and give it a pod install, and it'll go ahead and download and install the dependency. So at the moment, the version is 3.6.0. You might have a newer one, that's okay. Once it's done installing, go ahead and open up the project folder, and let's jump back into our project, but just make sure you open up the XC workspace. So once this is open, let me go ahead and expand our Xcode window here to give ourselves a little more room to work like that. Let me close this right panel. And we're going to go ahead and jump straight away into our view controller where we will be writing our code. We'll also go ahead and pick a simulator. We'll stick with the 12 Pro Max. And I'll go ahead and give this guy a build and run by hitting that run button. And we should see it open up on our simulator here momentarily. So while that's doing its thing, let's talk about how to create a chart. It's pretty simple, and I'm going to actually do it in a separate function here. We're going to go ahead and call it create chart, and we're going to want to do a couple of things. The first thing is to create the view itself. So we're going to say create bar chart. Then we want to configure the axes or axis if we have only one. I'll also talk about configuring the legend for the chart. And then finally, the most important thing, which is going to be figuring out how to supply the data that we want to our particular chart. So those are the components involved. We'll also take how to stylize our chart with different color themes. So here's our app is successfully built and is running here. I'll go ahead and stop it while we write our code, and let's get into it. So we'll go ahead and say create chart at the bottom of view to load, and let's start filling each of these steps out. So first things first, we're going to say our bar chart is going to be a bar chart view. But before we can access it, we want to import the dependency we just brought in called charts right up there. And now we can reference a bar chart view just like that. And if you go ahead and open up the parenthesis, you can see that you can create it without any parameters or with a frame. We'll do it like this for the time being, and then we'll set a frame to it afterwards. So let's skip these two for a moment. Let's talk about the data. So our chart view has a, let's see, what did I call it? Bar chart has a property called data. And you can take a look at this. This is of type chart data optional. So chart data is actually not the thing we're going to assign it to. We're going to assign it to more specifically bar chart data. So we're going to say this is bar chart data. And bar chart data gets created with a data set or multiple data sets. So we're just going to stick with one data set. And this needs to be a bar chart data set. So I'm going to say let set is a bar chart data set. And you might kind of know already, you might guess, right, be able to infer from the naming here, the bar chart data set gets created with entries, and these are going to be bar chart entries. And you can optionally provide a label as well. I guess we can do the label and the entries. So let's go ahead and call this entries, and I'm just going to go ahead and call this perhaps, let's call it cost. And we're going to create entries right up here. So we're going to say var, let's go ahead and do that one more time. We'll go ahead and say var entries is going to be an array of bar chart entry, not bar chart example. We want bar chart entry, just like that. Bar chart data entry is actually what I'm looking for. And we're going to do a for loop just to go ahead and populate various entries in here. So I'll say for underscore in 0, let's say up until 10. So that'll be that. And what I'll go ahead and do here is we want to insert an entry into each of these. So we'll say entries, append a bar chart data entry. And if you open up the constructor or the initializer for this, you can see that you can supply a X and Y. You can supply X, Y with an icon. You can also supply an X, Y, with an additional data parameter. So we're going to go ahead and use X, Y with an icon, just so you guys can get an idea of where the icon is going to show up. And the actual X here is actually going to be the X here. So instead of doing for underscore in, we're going to say do X in. Now X is going to be a integer, so we need to cast it as a double. And the actual Y value will be double.random, and we're going to create a random double value between 0 and perhaps, I don't know, let's go with 30. And then the icon is going to be just some random icon that we'll go ahead and grab. It's telling us it's an NS UI image. You can get away with UI image, but actually, let me actually just get rid of the icon so we can first get the chart to show up before we get fancy with it. So here's how we create a single data entry point. So that is that. And let's see, we also want to go ahead and add this to our subview. So I'm going to go ahead and say view, add subview, bar chart. And I'll also go ahead and actually give it a frame here. So we'll say frame is CG rect. I'm going to say 0, 0, view.frame.size.width, and this one will also be view.frame.size.width, and then we'll just go ahead and center this in our view. So I'll say bar chart.center is view.center. And before we go ahead and mess with the axis, let's go ahead and assign the data. And let me just go ahead and give this a run. Let's see why this is giving me an error. Expected a paren. Let's see what I'm missing here. It looks like we're missing a parenthesis right there for the bar chart data entry. Let's go ahead and give this a run, and let's see if our bar chart is now showing up, and then we'll start to get fancy with it and change up the colors and supply a legend and axis and all that good stuff. So here is our bar chart. It's a little subtle with the color it has picked. I'm going to put it into dark mode, and it's a lot easier to see. So we have a y-axis, an x-axis, and we also have a x-axis on the right and both the left. So how do we actually control the axes, and how do we change the color theme of this? Because it's a tad bit ugly at the moment. So the colors that we can actually use, I believe, are on the data set itself. It should have a colors property, and you can supply a collection of NSUI colors. There should be, let's see if there's a separate property on here for a shadow color and a border color. There in fact is. We're going to use colors, and there is a chart color templates. And off of this, there's actually a few different templates we can use. So if I command click into this, you'll go ahead and see that there are a variety you can use, which are just predefined color sets. So there is this one here for Liberty, there's Joyful, there's Pastel, there's Colorful, etc., etc. So I just picked material here. Let's maybe go for colorful, and let's see what that looks like. But before we actually run it again, let's talk about these two steps here. So to configure the axis is pretty simple. You can get the x-axis out by saying bar chart.x-axis, just like that. And if you take a look at the autocomplete here, it returns a type called x-axis. And you can also go ahead and now take this x-axis and assign things on it. So there are many, many things you can do. You can do label font, label position, height, width, count, etc., etc. If you actually just hit the dots, you'll be able to see the extensive laundry list of things that are available to you. So let's just go through these really quickly. So there's label height, there's width, there are things like word wrapping if you want to enable that. I believe what you can also do is there are some other properties you can set directly, such as if the axis line has a dash section, if grid lines are going to show, et cetera, et cetera. It's really up to you how you want to customize it. And there's just a ridiculous amount of things you can do. And if I go ahead and just do a search for xaxis.swift here, which is a part of the dependency we brought in, you can see a easier way to take a look at this. So you can actually change the label position as well. You can talk about or do all the label rotation and height stuff I already mentioned. And let's see, word wrapping I mentioned. Let's see what else is cool in here that would be good to know. So that stuff is kind of all the stuff on the x-axis here. But if you actually go to the superclass, which is this axis base thing that it's inheriting from, you can take a look that there are even more things in here. So things like a value formatter, a line color you can do, grid color. So if you want to change the line colors going across, you can also center everything. You can actually even limit how many labels are going to show. You can add in the entries if you want to supply the entries directly to this for some reason. Totally subjective, but we'll go ahead and just leave it as is. So that is x-axis, and you might be wondering, well, how do I do the y-axis? So let's go ahead and make this guy y-axis, and it's exactly the same thing. You can say a y-axis just like that. There should be an axis on here, left and right axis, that's what I'm looking for. So y-axis, instead of it just being a single one, you can pick left or right. And this is referring to basically what it sounds like. So this side or this side. And you can go ahead and hide one if you want, or not hide it, really up to you. So that's how you would do that. So I'm going to go ahead and call this right axis like that. And the legend, I believe, is actually the same deal. So you can go ahead and say this will be a bar chart dot your legend. And if we go ahead and command click into this to see the type of it, you'll notice once it decides to load that it is a legend. And we're going to command click into the chart legend here, or chart.legend, I guess. And let me just actually go ahead and do Command Shift O. We can find legend.swift, and you'll see the various things in here. So you can provide different types of forms, square, circle, line. You can provide if it's horizontally centered, vertically centered, et cetera, et cetera. And then, of course, in the legend itself, you can provide a legend entry. So a legend entry is basically like it sounds like. You can supply, what data correlates to what thing. And the initializer here, you can pass in a label, the form. You can specify a font size, the line width, et cetera, et cetera. You can go pretty crazy with it, but I'll leave that as is for now too. And let's see, I don't recall if there is actually a title property on here. I don't think there is on the chart directly. So what we'll need to do is set a title to the controller. So before going ahead and talking about this and ranting more, let me just go ahead and give it a run. And you'll see now that the color theme is a lot different. This one is assuming this is colorful. It's not very colorful. So let's go ahead and change this to joyful. And let's take a look at what that looks like. And of course, you can supply your own colors. So if you command click into this, you'll see that this is just an array of, NSUI color. And what we want to supply here is an array like that. So what I can go ahead and do is create an array, and you can start creating an NSUI color. And if you go ahead and open up the constructor, you can pass in a UI color directly. So we can say something like UI color.system blue. I'm just going to copy and paste it a few times and just make sure that it is going to cooperate. And let's see, this is going to say, cannot convert value of type UI color to expected argument type of, let's take a look at why this is yelling, type of CI color. So let's see, I think I used the wrong one here. We want UI color, not the CI color constructor. So I'll go ahead and say that like that. And then we want the one that allows me to pass in a UI color. So we could use the RGB value here. I guess we'll just use the CG color since that's the simplest one to convert. We'll say system blue.cg color like that. And we can copy and paste this a few times. And I'm just going to tweak these to just add some variety in the colors here. So we'll say green, red. I'll also add in a purple, and let's also add in perhaps an orange. Go ahead and give this a run, and this simple array lets you, now add in your app's color scheme if you have one in particular. So everything will, look perfectly in line with your design. So that is a bar chart in a nutshell. I tried to cover a lot of the attributes that the component allows you to customize. Frankly, there's way too much stuff that I can even cover in one sitting without this video getting extremely long. So you can customize the axes, the legend, the data. You can have multiple sets of data. So what I'll actually show you guys really quickly is multiple sets of data. So here you can see it takes in a data set or data sets. And data sets is just an array of these sets. So I'm just going to copy and paste it in like that. And what you'll see is it's a little difficult to see because the line heights are identical. But if you had different sets, so if we go ahead and create some new entries, I'll say entry 2. We just copy and paste this and make this one entry 2 as well. And then here we'll have a set, and I'll copy and paste this as well. And this will be set 2 with entries 2 like that. And let's also make this guy set 2, and then down here set 2. You'll see what the difference is once we give this a run. So go ahead and give it a run, and basically, what we're looking for here is that you can have multiple sets of information with multiple bars. Once again, it is difficult to actually see it, so we'll just leave it as such. And the last thing I'll talk about is you do have delegates and data sources available on this chart object. So if you want to do something when the user taps on a particular bar in the selected state, you can do that. You can assign those directly on here. So you can go ahead and say, this has a delegate and assign it to self. And let's see if it has a data source. I don't think it actually does. It has data, just the delegate it has. And the delegate, if you take a look at the autocomplete here, is of type chart view delegate. And that has functions like, did select, entry, et cetera, et cetera. So if you go into this delegate function, you'll see all the functions here of, chart view, chart value selected, chart value did end panning, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a lot of different functions in here for you to customize your application's behavior. So that's all I've got for you guys in today's video. A ton of content. If you're into making like a stock related application or any type of application that's going to plot data, this will come in really handy. So I definitely encourage you to take a look at it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure to do so and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with daily Swift iOS and Swift UI videos. And of course, don't forget to drop a like down below if you enjoy the video and learned something today. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.